Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Renu. Today in this video, I want to talk about is grammar necessary or not to learn speaking English. In this video, my answer would be why grammar is necessary to learn English language and why grammar is not necessary to learn speaking English. Additionally, I would be sharing with you if you learn English grammar, what are some important topics which you must start with, which you really need to know in grammar to learn spoken English. Alright, before starting the video, I would like to request you here, if you haven't subscribed this channel already, make sure to subscribe this channel right now. And of course, give this video a thumbs up and share your feedback about this video in the comment section. Now without further delay, let's get into the video. Let's begin with the first question. Why grammar is not necessary to learn speaking English? Now what happens is, when you learn the grammar in order to speak in English, when you learn the grammar, there are so many rules, right? You go through so many rules. There are so many rules, and when you try to speak in English, you want to sound like perfect speaker. You want to sound like perfect speaker according to the rule, as per the rules you have been through. So you just want to speak English according to the rules without committing a single mistake according to the grammar. And when you try to be perfect, you are trying to not to do mistake, not to commit any mistakes. Now let me tell you one thing here. When we are learning anything, here we are learning a language, and we are always trying not to do any mistake. Is it possible? Do you think is it possible without committing any single mistake we can learn the thing, we can learn a particular skill? It is demanding skill and we can learn this. It is really not possible. It is really impossible that we can just recall all the grammar rules at once. It is really impossible, right? We cannot remember all the grammar rules at once so that we can speak English perfectly. It is not possible, and just because of this, that we are unable to recall all the grammar rules, we fumble, we forget words, and just feel that we are not good speaker, and we feel demotivated. When we try to communicate with someone, we really try hard to remember all the grammar rules and all the perfect vocabulary so that we can sound perfect speaker in English, right? And this all process creates confusion. This all process, when we try to remind all the perfect vocabulary and correct grammar rules to explain our ideas, this process creates confusion, because it is very obvious that we cannot recall everything at once. When it's about to explain our ideas, it is really necessary to speak naturally. Just let it in the flow. Just let it be smooth. Just don't, give any kind of foundation to your thoughts. When it's about to speak, don't go with grammar rules. Literally, it will give you confusion, and you wouldn't be able to speak flawlessly, smoothly. So it is very obvious that if you're trying to recall all the vocabularies, appropriate vocabularies, you just want to sound perfect so that you can just, you can just impress people. It is really not possible that you can just recall all the fancy words or all the grammar rules at once. You must compromise something, right? And it is absolutely okay. The main purpose should be that you just want to understand, you just want to make them understand whom you're talking with, right? The main purpose is communication, not to impress people, not to just sound like advanced. Everyone knows that it is not our mother tongue, it is our second language, and it is very obvious that we are more likely to make mistakes. So it is very clear that whenever you are about to make any mistakes, it's okay, always open, always be open to make mistakes. When you just leave yourself to commit more and more mistakes, you would notice that yes, you are gradually you are gradually committing less mistakes than before, because now you have not that consciousness that I don't have to commit mistake, I don't have to make any mistake, otherwise I would sound like this and that. It is a natural part of learning. Making mistake is very important. Even when you learn something, you learn from your mistakes. You get to know what is that particular thing that we really don't need to repeat, right? You get to know each and every point, which is the important thing you need to know while speaking in English, while communicating someone. If you make mistakes, you get to learn a lot of things in your journey. When you learn the language, probably you can invest your 5 to 6 months or maximum 1 year. You can just invest 1 year to learn the language. But grammar is really time consuming. It can take years and years. So make sure that you are learning English language naturally. Grammar is really not necessary. If you want to speak English, if you want to learn speaking English, there is no need of grammar. All right, make sure that you are learning English naturally. You're just trying to surround yourself with more and more English stuff, with more and more English content, so that you are more likely to speak English naturally. You're just trying to be habitual of that English environment. Now it has been cleared that grammar is not necessary. But if you learn grammar to learn the language to start learning the language, any new language, you must learn basic things in grammar. If you're learning grammar as a beginner, you really don't know anything, you must learn basic things in grammar. But if you're already on your intermediate level, you must continue to practice, and then only you are going to be fluent in English. Okay, so practice is everything. Practice is the only thing will help you to learn the language, to learn the language fluently. Okay, now I said that I will be sharing with you some important topics in grammar which you can start with your journey. So the first important topic in grammar which you can learn to start your English learning journey is sentences. You can learn verb sentences. Verb sentences is really important so that you can actually learn what we say in present moment, what we explain if you really want to talk about our past moment or our future things. So sentences, verb sentences is really important. After that, sentence structure. Now, where we need to put object and subject and verb and everything, it is really need to know. We need to know the thing, right? How we can just structure a particular sentence. So sentence structures you need to learn in grammar. Sentence structures is really important so that you can frame your sentence in a good way, in appropriate way. Okay, now after that you can just learn preposition in grammar. Preposition is really important. When we say in that, at that, or on this, like so many things, so many prepositions are there in grammar, you can learn prepositions. After that you can learn articles. Articles is really important. Articles are really important if you really want to learn the grammar rules or basic grammar. I mean, if you really want to start with, you can just go with articles as well. And then you can just go with modal verbs. I found it very interesting. I found it very interesting when I was learning English. Modal verb, whenever we are talking, most of the time we talk with modal verb, like it may rain, or you may go here, or you may go there, may, might, must, and should, would. There are so many modal verbs. You can learn that so that you can communicate well. You can start communicating. And then you can learn pronouns if you want to start your English learning journey with grammar rules. Of course, you must learn some basic grammar so that you can start your journey. If you really don't know about English anything, you can just start with basic grammar. And if you already on your intermediate level, just continue practicing. Practice is the only thing will help you to be fluent and to improve. Okay, so make sure that you are just being consistent in your English learning journey. If you're already on your intermediate level, or even if you are beginner, make sure that you are practicing each and every day. Practice is only thing that will help you so much. And of course, one thing I would like to say here, that you know what, when we focus on grammar so much, we forget about other important aspects. Like there are so many other important aspects as well, listening or reading, writing, some other aspects, right, to learn the language completely. And we just put our 100% concentration to learn each and every topic in grammar, which is really not fine if you want to have a good connection with the language. So make sure that you are giving separate time to each and every aspect to learn the language completely, to sound fluent in that language. Okay, so this is all about whether grammar is necessary or not to learn spoken English. I hope you found your answer. If yes, then let me know in the comment section. And of course, if you find this video helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any question which you want to ask me, you can drop it in the comment section and I will make a separate video about your question, about the topic you are asking. Okay? Thank you so much. Let's meet in next videos.